How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Destiny 2 Oversimplified, the channel for new and returning players. Today we have one of our last videos for the subclasses. So today we're going to be talking about Berserker, which is the Titan Strand subclass. I'm going to be quickly going over the super that's available to you, all of the abilities, the 4 different aspects, and then I will touch on 2 different exotics that are very central to Titan Strand builds. So to start out, we have the super. So this super is Blade Fury, which is a roaming super, which means you roam around the battlefield and you can do light and heavy attacks. So the light attack is just a leaping slash toward nearby targets, which severs them on hit and then deals bonus damage to suspended targets. As a reminder, anytime you see terms on your subclass, such as sever or suspend or tangle, you can always highlight what that is, and then it will give you a description of what that terminology means. And then also your heavy attack is a upward slash, creating 2 suspending projectiles that seek out targets. This is what it looks like. I roam around, I have my light attack, which severs, and my heavy attack. And if that hits, it's a ranged heavy, it'll suspend targets. So we have our standard barricades here for the class ability, Rally Barricade and Towering Barricade. Standard lifts here with High Lift, Strafe, and Catapult. You have 1 melee for Strand Titan. So it's Frenzied Blade, activating your charged melee ability to dash forward, slashing at targets in front of you and severing them. Again, there's that sever terminology, and severing, all that does is it reduces the enemy's attack toward you. And then also they unwind into a tangle when defeated. So I have a bunch of charges right now. That's what it looks like. I can use that a couple times. Alright, for our grenades, so standard Strand grenades here. So the first one is Shackle Grenade, which is very good for suspending targets. And that's what suspending looks like. It also created a Tangle, which you can throw or shoot. Next grenade we have is Threadling Grenade. I throw it out and Threadlings go out and they will seek targets and attack them. And here's the description right here. A Threadling is basically a green little monster made of strand matter. And of course we have our Grapple Grenade, which you can see gives me a grappling hook that I can use to zoom across the battlefield. Overall, I've talked about this a little bit in the Strand Warlock and Strand Hunter video, but each grenade and each Strand term works best on one specific class. So Warlocks are known for having a lot of Threadlings in their builds. Hunters are known for having a lot of grapples, and it synergizes very well with that. And Titan is more about the Shackle Grenade. That's not to say that they're useless on the other classes, but you're going to specialize with whatever it's best for. So Titan is best to specialize with the Shackle Grenade, which means you're going to be suspending a lot of targets. Alright, starting with our aspects, so we have Into the Fray. Destroying a tangle or casting your super grants Woven Mail for nearby allies. While you have Woven Mail, your melee regeneration rate is increased. So here's a tangle, and I can throw it, and it gave me 10 seconds of Woven Mail, and that'll also do that for nearby allies, as well as popping my super next to them. Next aspect we have is Dranger's Lash. So activating your barricade ability, so either barricade, tower, or rally, and it will create a ripple in reality that travels forward along the ground, suspending and damaging targets it hits. So this one's really good for CC, crowd control. So I'm going to cast my barricade, and it automatically suspends targets. And it goes a pretty good distance too, but super good for crowd control, and it works with, suspending works with a lot of different enemies, not just these fodder enemies here. Up next we have Fleshshed Storm. So while sliding, activate your charged melee ability to leap into the air, knocking nearby targets away and dealing damage. While airborne, activate your charged melee again to launch a cluster of damaging, unraveling projectiles. Repeatedly activating melee will chain additional throws. So this is a lot of words. Basically, while sliding, you do a charged melee, it'll do stuff, and then while you're in the air, you can do it again. So that's what that looks like, pretty cool. And again, you see terms such as unravel, and then it'll describe what that is next to it. The last aspect that we have is Banner of War. So defeating a target with a melee attack, finisher, or sword raises a Banner of War that pulses with energy, periodically healing nearby allies and increasing melee and sword damage. Targets defeated by you and nearby allies charge the banner so it can stack, increasing the speed of its pulses. So I already have ×2. ×3, and I have ×4. So the green aura around me is the actual Banner of War, and then you can see on my character I have a flag. You see there's a timer on my left, so that's how long the banner will last, and it is pulsating. So my top health bar at the top of the screen, so it's giving me health. It's also giving me melee energy, And this works with allies as well. So this is really good as a team. And then once my timer is up, then my banner war goes down. So the goal of this is you need to keep getting kills, and it works with sword, works with melee, and also works with finisher. These guys are going to be kind of hard to finish because they die in one hit. Yeah, it's banner war. Overall, banner war is super good, and it's even better with a certain exotic that I'll show you guys in a second. Alright, so on to exotics. So the first one we have is Wishful Ignorance. So this is going to be used with Banner of War primarily. It also looks super sick. Let's see, are there any... Oh yeah, there's also an ornament for it as well. But very cool looking exotic. So it states you gain an additional Frenzied Blade charge, so that's your melee. So normally you have 3 of these, which is actually a lot. But with this exotic, you now have 4, which is great. Frenzy Blade and Flechette Storm. So this is your charge melee, Frenzy Blade. And then Flechette Storm was the one where we slid and then went into the air and then activated a bunch of melee stuff that I showed you guys earlier. It's an aspect. So those two briefly increase their damage with each strike. And then also pulses from your banner war return melee energy based on the number of allies healed. So this is super good. You're going to get a lot more melee energy with this equip. So if you want to do a Banner of War build, then this is 100% what you want to use with that, because it just synergizes so well. Also having the extra melee is nice. And then the second exotic, so there's not a lot for specifically Strand stuff for Titan. There's a lot of neutral exotics you can use, but these are the 2 that work only with Strand. So this one improves your Dranker's Lash. So Dranker's Lash is an aspect that I'll go over again in a second. And then it says projectiles track targets more aggressively and travel further. Gain Woven Mail when you suspend a target. So Woven Mail, by the way, I haven't explained that one, but it's just damage reduction. So super good. And then suspend is when they're sitting in the air and can't do anything. So you're going to pair this one with Dranker's Lash, which is when you use your barricade, it creates the green lines in front that suspend targets. All right, so I'll show you guys here. So I'm going to activate my class ability. And there were 3 lines instead of 1. So that's basically the big change. So normally when you do Dranker's Lash, the aspect, 1 line will come up from the center. But with the exotic equipped, 3 are going to come up from the left, right, and center. So super good for covering more options. So I'll show it again here just so you see it. So you have 3 big lines and they go pretty far and they suspend targets. And with that, we are pretty much done with Strand Titan. So we talked about the super, the abilities, the 4 aspects, and then we went over the 2 exotics, Wishful Ignorance and Bant Leap. Overall, Strand Titan is very powerful. It's very good in low and high end content, especially with how easy it is to suspend targets and as well as making a banner war build, which is really good for end game content. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and comment down below. If you didn't like it, then feel free to leave a dislike, but just do me a favor and comment on what I can do to improve in the future for these oversimplified videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.